We are going to begin with the class. Okay, so this was where we were yesterday. We derived wave solution of wave equation. So this was basically the wave equation we had. Uxx is 1 by k times utt, and u was denoting the vertical displacement, the deflection of the string at any point x at time t. K is a positive constant, and then we derived its solution using the method of separation of variables. We assumed that the solution is a product of two variables x and t, where capital X is a function of x only, capital T is a function of t only. And following these methods, we were able to reach at the this step. So this is the double star. This is denoting the generalized form of solution of wave equation. So this is actually a infinite sum of the terms an cos n pi by l square root kt plus bn sin n pi by l square root kt into sin n pi by l x. And there are two undetermined coefficients, you can say an and bn. So we will remember this solution. So that means in questions we can directly start from this step. Otherwise, whenever a question is asked of finding the solution of wave equation or finding the solution of heat equation, otherwise you have to derive the whole solution again if you do not remember this one. So this derivation which we have clearly done above, this every time you have to repeat. So no need to repeat that. You can directly start your solution from here, that uxt is this, and then depending upon the problem, the information given to the u in the question, we can find the values of an and bn, and then that will be the final solution. So how this an and bn are going to be found? For that you will be given the initial conditions. So this I explained to you that there will be two initial conditions given to you. One will be u at x0 is fx. So when you will be putting that, you will be getting the value of an. So this formula for an you can remember directly. And then using second initial condition, which is in terms of del u by del t. So this is up to you. If you want to remember, you can. Otherwise, you every time have to differentiate with respect to t. So directly you can remember this formula for bn, right? So there are three things to be remembered: generalized solution uxt, an, and bn. So now we will be doing the question. We started with a question already yesterday. So you have an elastic string. You have an elastic string of length L, which is fastened at x is equal to 0 and x is equal to L. So these are the endpoints. And this is picked up at center. So center is obviously at x is equal to L by 2. To a height, how much it is picked from its ground level to a height L by 2, and then it is released without giving any velocity. So the physical meaning of this is actually the initial condition. They are telling you the initial condition, that because there were two initial conditions, one was initial displacement and one was initial velocity. So for initial displacement, they told you that this is how we give the initial displacement, by picking it up from the center. But initial velocity is 0, because you read these words, it is released without giving any velocity, or it can also be written released at rest, right? So different wordings can be used. So all of them will mean gx is equal to 0. Find displacement of the string at any point of time. At any point of time means obviously they are asking you to find the unknown solution, which is your u. So I started directly from double star expression, which is a solution of wave equation uxt summation n is equal to 1 to infinity an bn, and then this complete one. Then we need to find an and bn. So we wrote the formula for an. So an is 2 by l 0 to l fx sine n pi by lx. So you need to know fx. Now what is fx? Fx is the initial deflection, initial displacement, u at x0. So you will see in the rest of the questions which we will be doing, that it may be directly given to you as a function, right? It is a straight line, it is a sinusoidal curve, it is a sine wave, it's a cosine wave. So whatever, fx can be anything, it can be given to you. But here in this particular question, We are given initial displacement, but we are not given its mathematical formula. So what we need to do is understand this geometrically and try to formulate this fx, that how fx looks mathematically. So all of you just have to draw this and see that what will happen if you pick up the string from the center. So if you pick up a string from the center L by 2 position and raise it to the height L by 2, so what kind of profile it is going to create, right? So it's going to create this profile, right? Fine. So it's going to create a triangular profile. So now we have to write a mathematical function for this. Like if it would have been this kind of profile, we know mathematical function is sine x. It would have been given to you. If it would have been picked up this way parabolically, so they might have told you, but they have just told you it's picked up from the center and released. So this is how it is going to generate a curve. So what is the mathematical equation of this curve, right? So from 0 to L by 2, it is a straight line. From L by 2 to L also, it is a straight line. So all what we need to do is find the equation of this straight line. So to find the equation of a straight line, we need the 2 points, two points, so that we can write the equation of the line. So this point is 0 comma 0. So if you start imagining the y means the displacement, actually that is not y, that is u. So this is u is equal to x, because this is 0 0. Here there is displacement is 0, and here what is the magnitude of the vertical displacement? L by 2, and x coordinate is also L by 2. So what is the equation of a line joining 2 points 0 comma 0 and L by 2 comma L by 2? So it's very easy, right? Both the coordinates are same. The straight line joining the points having both x and y coordinates same is y is equal to x, right? Anybody can compute that. So that's why from 0 to L by 2, this is fx is equal to x. And similarly, you find from L by 2 to L, it is given by L minus x, because the points this straight line is joining, one of them is L by 2, L by 2, other is L comma 0, because at x is equal to L also, your u is 0. There is no vertical displacement. So given these 2 points, you can find the straight line joining these 2 points. This will be u is equal to L minus x, because when x will be L by 2, its value will be L by 2, and when x will be L, its value will be L minus L 0. So this will be this point. So this is how in this particular question we had to formulate this function f of x. It was not directly given to us. Is this clear up to here? Vidushi, I have explained again. Do I need to explain it one more time? Okay, I will explain again this part if a few of you are having doubts. So what is essentially happening here is you have a string joined tightly between 2 points. This is x is equal to 0, this is x equals to L. You just pick up this string from the middle. So this is not an assumption. This is what is given to us in the question, that how you have to give this displacement initially, because you need to do something to make this string vibrate, right? You need to give its initial distortion. So that is how we are introducing the vibrations and creating the waves. So that part is initial conditions, that ux0 is f of x. Now, what is this f of x? So for that, they have told you that it is picked up from the center. So how high it is being picked up? To a height L by 2. This is given to you in the question. So what are the coordinates of this point? So if this side you are measuring u, which is a vertical displacement, and this is your x-axis. So what are the coordinates of this point? L by 2 comma L by 2. And what is the coordinate of this point? So this is x is 0 and u is also 0. There is no vertical displacement at this point because this end point is fixed. And similarly at L also, the u is 0, so the coordinates of this point is L0. So now you just need to imagine this thing, right? That imagine you have a string, you just pick it up from the center, so it will take this shape. It's tightly fastened between the two ends. It's not a loose string, otherwise you won't be able to create the waves. So it's like it's tightly fastened. Only then if you give a displacement, then it is going to create the waves. It's not a sagging kind of string between two endpoints. It's tightly fastened between them, so it will create this kind of profile. So whatever this kind of profile it is creating, that is our function fx. Now to compute the value of solution, which is includes an, I need fx. So fx will come from here. So this curve which you can see, this one, for this I have to write mathematically, that what is the equation of this curve, right? So it's the opposite way. You need to learn these things now. It's, I'll give you a function, you will be able to draw its graph. But now the question is reverse. You have the graph in front of you. You need to write its mathematical equation. So you need to learn this, how to do that. So clearly it's a straight line from 0 to L by 2. So fx, which needs to be defined from 0 to L, is actually now being divided into two domains. 0 to L by 2, it is a different line. From L by 2 to L, it is a different line. From 0 to L by 2, so it's a straight line. So what is the equation of this straight line? So how to find the equation of straight line, that I've explained to you. You know the coordinates of these endpoints, and you can find using the 2-point form of a straight line the equation of this line. And otherwise it's easy to see. It's L by 2, L by 2, whatever is the value of L, it's going to be 0 comma 0, 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2. Those kind of points are going to lie over there. So this is actually x. Just like you have the line in the plane, y is equal to x. So this is that line. So that's why fx is equal to x. And what is this line? So it's a negative slope line. So if you compute its equation, you will be getting L minus x, right? Because what is the, if you draw y is equal to 1 minus x, this will be this line. So it is, instead of 1, we just have L here in front of us. So it's L minus x. So this is how we formulated fx. And now this fx I am going to use here to compute the value of an. So what we did to compute an, so we break the integral into parts, 0 to L by 2 and L by 2 to L. So from 0 to L by 2, I used fx is equal to x. And from L by 2 to L, I used fx is equal to L minus x. After this, the only point left is now mathematically solving this value of integration, right? Right? So now you just solve the integral and calculate the value of an. So let me just continue with the mathematical calculation. So this integration, if you will be solving, which is given to you in two parts, I'm directly writing the value which I will be getting. 4L by n square pi square sine n pi by 2. So this is what which you will be getting after solving this integral. The calculation is little lengthier. So here also you have to use integration by parts one time. And in this integral also you have to use integration by parts. But whatever it will be done, and after substituting the limits, just do this calculation. So in simplified form, this will be the value of an. And here also, you have to take care of those things which we used to take care while computing the Fourier series. The denominators should not be becoming 0. In the denominator, what is coming? N square. So there is no problem with that, because our n starts from 1, 2, 3, and so on. So if in denominator you get something like n minus 1 or n square minus 1, something like that, then we know we have to impose extra condition. N is not equal to 1, and for n is equal to 1, we have to do the separate computation. This is a point which we have seen so many times in the previous kind of question. So here also you have to take care of the same things. But here, at least in this question, there is no issue with the n square coming in the denominator. So this is the value of an, right? So once you get an, what you have to do is next to compute Bn, because if you remember, there were two constants to be determined, an and bn. So an is now done. So this is bn. This is the formula for bn. So for this you need gx. And what is gx? Gx is del u by del t at x comma 0. So this is initial velocity. So as you can read from the statement, this string is released without giving any velocity. That means gx is 0. So if gx is 0, directly bn is 0 because gx is coming here. So it's easy to see bn is 0. So an is computed, bn is 0, and once you compute an and bn, so just write the final solution. So final solution is going to be uxt is summation n is equal to 1 to infinity an is 4l by n square pi square into sine n pi by 2 into cos n pi by l square root kt into sine n pi by l x, right? So this part is coming from double star, which is our solution. So an into cosine, it contained two terms basically. If you again look at it, it contained two terms, an into cosine term plus bn into sine term. Bn is 0, so this term is not coming. So it's an into cosine term into, this was the common multiplication, sine n pi by lx. So we just substituted the value of an and that gives us the final solution. So this completes this particular question. So let's do one more question of the same type for the wave equation, and then we will finish this chapter. So actually the kind of second question which I'm going to take is from the tutorial sheet. So let me just give me one moment. I'm going to note down the statement. Okay, so here we have this particular question. A tightly stretched string of length 4 units with fixed ends is initially at equilibrium position. It is set vibrating by giving each point a velocity zero to 2, 2 to 4. So find the displacement uxt. So clearly they are asking you to solve the finding the displacement, the solution. So it's clear from the statement, it's a question of wave equation. There we are talking about string, not heat equation, right? So what is given to us? So if you write the general solution, so we know that this is an cosine n pi by l square root kt plus bn sine n pi by l square root kt, and this whole is being multiplied with sine n pi by lx. So we already know the formulas for an and bn, and additionally what is given to you? Length 4 units. So L is given to be 4. So what you can do is, in all the formulas you will be putting L is equal to 4. And now you read the statement, because we know an is 2 by L, 0 to L, fx sine n pi by lx dx. So what is fx? Fx is initial displacement. So it's clearly given to be 0 in this question. Ux0 is 0 because initially the string is at equilibrium position. They are not giving any vertical displacement. Means they are trying to generate the vibration in the string by giving its initial velocity but not any initial displacement. So Fx is 0. So since Fx is 0, so this implies An is 0. So in the previous question which we did, in that question Bn was 0 because the initial velocity was 0, but in this question Fx is 0, therefore An is 0. And now we need to compute the value of Bn. So the formula for Bn is 2 by root k n pi 0 to L gx sine n pi by lx dx. This is the formula for Bn, computation of Bn. So we need Gx. So Gx is initial velocity, del u by del t at x is equal to 0. So this is given to you mathematically in the question. What is this? This takes value x from 0 to 2 and 2 to 4, this takes value 0. So now because your domain is 0 to L always and length of the string is 4, so your domain becomes 0 to 4. So this will be 2 by square root k n pi 0 to 4 gx sine n pi by 4 x dx. So for L I have substituted 4. 2 by square root k n pi. So this 0 to 4 integral I have to subdivide into two integrals, 0 to 2 and 2 to 4. So 0 to 2, the gx takes value x. So this is x into sine n pi by 4x dx, and 2 to 4 the value of gx is 0. So it's 0 into sine n pi by 4x dx, right? So we computed gx was given to you, we just substituted the value of gx, and now again it's all about just solving the integrals. So once you solve the integral, so what you will be getting, the second integral is obviously gone because it's simply 0. This you can use integration by parts here. So it's first function integral of second minus integral, so obviously you don't forget the limits, minus integral of derivative of first, again integral of second. So cos we have, and this is 2 by square root k n pi. So this is minus, so in place of x you have to put 2. So 2 into 4 by n pi, this n pi by 4 is in the denominator, right? Cos n pi by 2, because when you will be putting x is equal to 2, so it will be cos n pi by 2 by 4. 2 by 4 will make it 1 by 2. So it's cos n pi by 2. And when you will be substituting the lower limit, you have to put x is equal to 0. So x is in the multiplication. So this lower limit value will be coming out to be 0. And the second integral will be minus minus plus 4 by n pi, and one more time cos you integrate, that will be sine n pi by 4x upon n pi by 4, 0 to 2. And this now you just simplify. So this is minus 8 by n pi cos n pi by 2. This will be 16 by n square pi square sine n pi by 2, and the lower limit will be minus sine of 0, because for x you have to put 0, sine 0 is 0. So this is what you are getting. So what you can do is to take this 8 by n pi common, and this 2 by square root k n pi is already there. So this will be 2 by n pi into sine n pi by 2 minus cos n pi by 2. So this is your basically answer. 16 by square root k n square pi square 2 by n pi sine n pi by 2 minus cos n pi by 2. So this is the value of Bn which you computed. So your final solution is going to be uxt is summation. So Bn gets multiplied with, so this Bn you just complete substitute here. This gets multiplied with sine n pi by 4 square root k t and into sine n pi by 4 x. So this is the final answer for this particular question. Right? Is that clear to everyone? Is it clear that how to do the questions? Yes, Uday.
मैम हम जो क्वेश्चन मिलेंगे मैम उसके अंदर हम वो जो मैम फर्स्ट इक्वेशन हम यूज करते हैं उसे हम रिमेम्बर कर सकते हैं या फिर हमें वो भी डायरेक्ट करनी पड़ेगी?
Which one? जो UXT है,
इसमें जो सारी क्वेश्चन में कॉमन आ रही है मैम, जो हम जिससे
सॉल्यूशन की
स्टार्ट
बात
करते
कर
हैं।
रहे हो ना? हाँ, सॉल्यूशन मींस जो आप जो समेशन वाली ये वाली टर्म की बात कर रहे
हम यूएक्सटी वाली।
हाँ, ऑब्वियसली देखो अभी हमने एक जनरल इतना बड़ा डेरिवेशन किया है तो वो नहीं तो आपको हर बारी डेरिवेशन रिपीट करना पड़ेगा हर क्वेश्चन में, अगर आप इसको याद नहीं रखोगे, बिकॉज वो इसीलिए डिराइव हुआ है ना जनरल फॉर्म में कि आपको बस यहाँ पे आके, क्योंकि इससे पहले क्वेश्चंस की सारी कंडीशन सेम होती हैं, सिर्फ इनिशियल कंडीशंस का फर्क होता है और ए एन बी एन की वैल्यू इनिशियल कंडीशंस के टर्म्स में है, तो यहाँ से ही क्वेश्चन बदलता है, इससे पहले सारी चीजें सेम रहती हैं अनलेस और अनटिल कि वो प्रॉब्लम में ही कुछ चेंज कर दें, तो प्रॉब्लम में कुछ चेंज नहीं होगा, वेव इक्वेशन की प्रॉब्लम हमेशा सेम रहेगी, तो आप हमेशा यहाँ से स्टार्ट कर सकते हो। बट इन केस अगेन आई विल टेल यू, अगर आपको लगता है याद रखना मुश्किल है तो आपको फिर डेरिवेशन करना पड़ेगा, which is not suggestible because not every time you will be using the method of separation of variables and reaching at this point. So directly you start from here and then फिर जो जो गिवन है, जैसे लेंथ ऑफ द स्ट्रिंग गिवन है वो आप सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दो, k की वैल्यू हो सकती है किसी क्वेश्चन में गिवन हो, तो सपोज यही क्वेश्चन ऐसे होता u x x is u t t, सॉल्व दिस इक्वेशन, सो आपको पता चल जाता है अच्छा k नहीं है, k मींस k 1 है, तो हम k को 1 सब्स्टिट्यूट कर देते, सो l हमें गिवन हो सकता है, जैसे प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन में l गिवन नहीं था तो हमने l को l ही रखा था, तो जो जो गिवन है उसको सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दो और ए एन की बी एन की वैल्यू निकालो इनिशियल कंडीशन से और उसको दोबारा से इसमें सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दो, यू विल गेट योर सॉल्यूशन।
यस मैम। और मैम ये fx इक्वल टू 0 है मैम, मतलब कि ये स्ट्रिंग तो प्लग ही नहीं हुई मैम, तो फिर ये वेव कैसे आएगी?
हाँ, उसको वेलोसिटी देंगे ना,
पर
there are
उसके लिए
many
तो
ways of doing the things, there are ways of doing the things, आप you just do something mechanically or something like that, you just try to give a velocity to the string from the end points, the way you saw yesterday's diagram, yesterday's demonstration, it was not plugged in the beginning but it was supplied external vibration from the end point, so one time you just have to give the initial velocity.
ओके।
Yeah, so one and the same thing. So depending on, in some questions you will get both fx and gx, like in the previous question we had fx but not gx, in this question we had gx but not fx, but in some questions you may have both fx and gx non-zero given, so you will have values of both an and bn in that questions. Is it fine? Is it clear with everyone? What I'm going to do is to yeah, I just hope everybody can see the tutorial sheet number 7 because this chapter is finished. So what we can do is I can give you 2-3 minutes or you can recollect your doubts in case you have any from this chapter, and then we will be starting with the next chapter. So this is the tute sheet. You can have a look at the questions and ask me if there is any, you don't understand anything or something in any given of the questions. Like these 3 questions are of these 3 questions are of heat equation. Find the solution of one-dimensional heat equation. So this is given to you heat equation, boundary conditions are given to you, initial condition is given to you, length of the string is L. In second question, you can see K is not there. So that means whatever solution you already know for heat equation, you will put K is equal to 1 and L is 1. So length of the rod in this case is given to you 1, and this is Fx, initial condition, because in heat equation there's just one initial condition that is given to you in the form of this function. And in this third, K is given to you C square. So wherever root K is coming, you put C instead of root K. And initial condition is given to you in this way, and zero temperature boundary conditions are there. So these three questions are of heat equation, and the rest of the questions, as you can see, fourth, fifth, sixth question now we have done. Fourth and fifth are also of wave equation. So if you read the statement of this, so this clearly says a string is stretched and fastened 2 points L apart. So this is the length of the string. Motion is started by displacing the string in the form of this. So this is initial displacement they are talking about. So initial displacement means this is your Fx. This is your f of x, which is u at x is equal to 0. In this question, they have used the notation y, but doesn't matter. So we denote our unknown function with u, but in some books you may find it by y. So it doesn't matter. You can also use the notation y. So but if, whatever it is, fx is given to you. This is the point I told you, that fx mathematically will be given to you. It was only in the question we discussed the today as well as we started yesterday. In that question, we had to mathematically write the formula for fx by ourselves. Find the displacement at any point x, so from which it is released at time t is equal to 0. So just initial displacement is given, and nothing about initial velocity they are mentioning. So that means gx is equal to 0. Same is in this question. Fx is given to you, gx is 0, and in this question gx is given to you and fx is 0. This question we have already done. So here is a mistake. This should be u. So there should be consistent notation used for the displacement. So let me just go back to the calculation which we were doing. Yes, so this is the solution which we obtained for this one. Means you want to further simplify it to a certain extent, then you can do that. Yes, Vidushi, you can raise your hand so that I can unmute you and you can ask me your doubt.
Ma'am, it is clear.
Clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Uday.
मैम ये जो मैम मैथमेटिकल मॉडल बना है मैम, ये एकदम स्टेडी स्टेट का है कि मैम ये पूरा इनिशियल से स्टेडी स्टेट तक कैसे पहुंचा वो भी बताएगा?
स्टेडी स्टेट क्या है आप बताओ, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय स्टेडी स्टेट?
मतलब मैम जब बहुत ज्यादा टाइम हो जाता है मैम प्रोसेस को मैम, तब उसकी जो कंडीशन होती है उसे स्टेडी स्टेट कहते हैं।
हाँ, एक्चुअली इट्स अबाउट मोर प्रिसाइजली इट इज लाइक बहुत ज्यादा टाइम हो जाता है और उसके बाद ऐसी स्टेज आती है व्हेन थिंग्स स्टॉप चेंजिंग with respect to time. So if the things stop changing with respect to time, then we say it's a steady state. So mathematically that means the time derivative of your physical quantity, whatever are you measuring, temperature you are measuring, displacement, velocity, acceleration, so whichever physical model you are in, whatever physical quantity are you measuring, if its time derivative means its derivative with respect to time becomes 0, so that is the mathematical condition of a steady state, right? But now you look at the solution uxt. So do you think it is steady state? It is clearly depending upon time. That means it is still have time explicitly coming in its expression. That means I'll give you some value of time, you'll get a different solution. At other t, you will get another solution. So it's still varying with respect to time. So it's not the steady state. It's all the time. It's a continuous evaluation, continuous evolution. I'm sorry, continuous evolution throughout the time, as well as space, spatio-temporal evolution. There is a more precise words for this kind of dynamical system. So this equation, this solution is telling you spatio-temporal evolution. With respect to space, how the things are changing. With respect to time, temporal is used for time, how the things are changing. Now, if you want to obtain steady state solution for this, so then you take the limit t goes to infinity. Then you take the limit t. There are two ways to find the steady state solution. Once is this, you take the limit t goes to infinity, but then you will see that since it is a kind of an infinite series, so it won't be very easy or mathematically easy to compute this limit. Other ways to compute the steady state solution is like, look at your equation. What was your equation? Utt is nu xx, right? Means whatever. If you just see there is a constant involved. Utt is k times uxx. So what will be the change in the equation if it is you want to find its steady state solution? So this part will directly be 0. So you will be just solving uxx is equal to 0. So whatever you will get by solving this one, that will be the steady state solution. Means that is just a differential equation in front of you which you have to solve. It's a PDE. उसका जो सोल्यूशन आएगा वो आपकी वेव इक्वेशन का स्टेडी स्टेट सॉल्यूशन होगा. सो स्टेडी स्टेट फाइंड करने के ये तरीके होते हैं कि आप अपनी इक्वेशन में टाइम डेरिवेटिव को 0 पुट कर दो एंड डन. इज इट क्लियर?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So we do have 5 minutes, but I don't want to start with the next chapter. We'll not gain anything but in just 5 minutes by beginning the next chapter. So you can ask me more doubts related to anything, and I hope everybody knows that we have the evaluation on 13th of May from the chapter Laplace transform. Yeah, everybody might have checked the information on LMS. I just did not share it with you. I thought you might have seen it already in your groups. So any doubt, even from the Laplace transform chapter or something, you can ask me. I do not have any information of holidays right now. If you have the information, good enough. But right now, faculty is having no information about holidays. Okay, is it postponed? So I did not have information about this. Okay, you people get information faster. That's good then. Obviously, then in that case, I suppose the test will be postponed. Officially, it will be put on the LMS website. Yes, any other doubts? Okay, yes, Uday.
मैम ये जो मैम इक्वेशन है मैम मैम ये फाइनल वेव की मैम उसकी ग्राफिकल इंटरप्रिटेशन क्या होगी?
ये आपको डिस्प्लेसमेंट बता रही है उसकी हर टाइम पे और हर स्पेस पे. मींस अब आप इसके सॉल्यूशन को इंटरप्रेट करने की कोशिश करो. अब जैसे मैं बोलती हूँ कि कोई डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन है, जब हम कोई डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन लिखते हैं, सपोज लेट मी नॉट राइट हियर, suppose we write some ordinary differential equation, say d2y by dx2 plus say y is equal to 0. So इसको जब हम solve करते हैं तो auxiliary equation बनती है m square plus 1. तो इसके जो हमारे रूट्स बनते हैं ये, और सॉल्यूशन हमारा क्या आता है, c1 cos x plus c2 sin x. तो सपोज कुछ कंडीशंस गिवन है और हमारे पास c1 c2 की वैल्यू आ गई. सपोज एक पर्टिकुलर सॉल्यूशन आ गया cos x plus sin x, तो या फिर एक सॉल्यूशन आ गया y is equal to sin x. कुछ कंडीशंस गिवन है. तो नाउ व्हाट डू यू मीन फिजिकली? अब हम सॉल्यूशन तो आ गया, बट इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब ये है कि जो भी डायनामिकल सिस्टम को ये इक्वेशन रिप्रेजेंट कर रही है उसका सॉल्यूशन ऐसा है. तो उसमें y जो भी फिजिकल क्वांटिटी है, इट्स बिहेविंग लाइक sin x. दैट मीन्स उसको आप प्लॉट करोगे, सॉल्यूशन को प्लॉट करोगे, सो दैट विल बी sin x. सो सेम इज हियर. अब आप अपना इस इक्वेशन का सॉल्यूशन देखो. सो इस इक्वेशन का सॉल्यूशन जो है एक्चुअली एक फोरियर सीरीज है. It's not one function, it's a sum of infinite sum of many functions. And how the terms are coming, So it's sin n pi by 4x. So ये सब sinusoidal curves हैं. Sinusoidal means something like sin x by 2, sin 2x, depending upon जो भी उसके coefficients आएंगे. Sin 3 means some multiple of x is there. So multiple of x करने से क्या change होता है आपकी wave तो sine wave ही रहती है, but उसकी wavelength change हो जाती है और you can say frequency change हो जाती है. So it's like we know if it is the graph of sin x, so what is the graph of sin 2x? What is the graph of sin 2x? Because then you will be having this, right? So within one wavelength, there will be two, its frequency is going to increase, right? So similarly, you can draw the graph of sin 3x. So these are all sinusoidal curves. So that means your solution looks like this. So they are at any time the sum of these functions, sin x plus sin 2x. So if you remember the yesterday's video demonstration which I showed you, what kind of solutions you were looking there. So that's even more natural to imagine. अगर आप वीडियो नहीं भी याद रखते तो it's very easy to imagine. आप एक string को plug करो, you will see this kind of structures there. You will see this kind of waves forming there because the waves form from both the sides. So ultimately, it's already happening physically, but we need to give those solutions which are appearing, the shapes of the strings which are appearing at different times. We need to write them mathematically. So this solution represents that. कि एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम पे आपका सॉल्यूशन किस फॉर्म में है, कौन सी साइन फ्रीक्वेंसी में है. सो दिस इज हाउ इट इज. सो इट्स नॉट दैट इजी जस्ट लाइक sin x. इट इज अ sum of infinite sum of sinusoidal waves. So basically you can say this is a approximate solution because whatever you will be taking up from here is going to be just a finitely many terms. So that will represent the approximate solution. It's never going to represent the exact solution because nobody can find the sum of infinitely many terms.
मैम अगर हमें ये पता चल जाए कि फोरियर सीरीज किस फंक्शन की है तो हम उसको uxt इक्वल टू वो फंक्शन लिख सकते हैं ना मैम, क्योंकि हमें पता है.
हाँ वो कर सकते हैं, बट यू सी ना कि ये डायरेक्टली एक्चुअली फोरियर सीरीज नहीं है. इफ यू लुक एट डायरेक्टली बिकॉज जो फोरियर सीरीज हमने आपको पढ़ाया है दैट इज फॉर वन वेरिएबल. बिकॉज जब हम ए एन बी एन की वैल्यूज निकाल रहे हैं तब वो फोरियर सीरीज है, फोरियर हाफ रेंज सीरीज है. जब हमने ये ए एन की वैल्यू निकाली थी yesterday, which I showed you the calculation yesterday. Yes, so this u when जब आप इनिशियल कंडीशन सब्स्टिट्यूट कर देते हो, मींस t की वैल्यू 0 सब्स्टिट्यूट कर देते हो, तो आपका सिर्फ एक वेरिएबल बच जाता है x. इन दैट केस जैसे ये रहा आपका, okay, let me just, so in that case it becomes a function of just one variable, then it is Fourier series जैसे ये. So then we can use the an. So ये फोरियर सीरीज बनती है जब आप टाइम को कुछ पर्टिकुलर वैल्यू सब्स्टिट्यूट कर देते हो. बिकॉज फोरियर सीरीज एज अ फंक्शन ऑफ टू वेरिएबल्स, देयर इज नो नोशन लाइक दैट. इट्स वी हैव जस्ट स्टडीड इट फॉर फंक्शन ऑफ वन वेरिएबल. सो हम ये नहीं कह सकते सॉल्यूशन ऑफ वेव इक्वेशन इज डायरेक्टली अ फोरियर सीरीज. It is itself not a Fourier series, but yes, at particular times it is Fourier series because time की value fix करनी पड़ेगी when it will be a function of one variable and then it will be Fourier series.
Yes ma'am.
Right? Or you can see it's a Fourier sine series. It's cos terms तो नहीं है आपकी, ये मतलब ये cos है but ये Fourier series का पार्ट नहीं है. This is just coming as a additional term. So अगर आप टाइम को सब्स्टिट्यूट कर दोगे कुछ वैल्यू, ये टर्म तो एक कांस्टेंट में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगी इनटू sin n pi by lx. तो इट्स अ फोरियर हाफ रेंज साइन सीरीज बनता है हमेशा इनके जो सॉल्यूशंस हैं. ओके, सो आई थिंक Vidushi, you are asking TUT 6th 8th question. Let me just see which question you are asking. Let me just open the tutorial sheet. Okay, this is TUT 7, TUT sheet 6, 8th question. So that the constant can be expanded in the form of half range sine series. Yeah, so it is simply a question of you have to find half range sine series, right? So we know half range sine series. So you just need to compute bn. So Bn is 2 by L. L is given to you pi, 0 to pi, f of x sine n pi by L. L is pi, x dx. So this will be the expression for Bn fx sine nx. So this is what you need to compute to write Fourier half range sine series. So what is fx? Constant, because you are given the function. For which function you have to write a half range sine series? Constant function. So you just put fx is equal to c. So when you will be putting fx equals to c, it will be 2c by pi, 0 to pi sine nx dx. Now very easily you can solve this integral. That will give you the value of Bn, and then you just substitute. So your Fourier half range sine series will be n is 1 to infinity Bn into sine nx. And you will see upon integration इसमें से कुछ terms जीरो होने शुरू हो जाएंगे. जैसे आपको दिख रहा है यहाँ पे sin x आ रहा है, sin 3x आ रहा है, sin 5x आ रहा है. तो that means odd वाले terms retain रहेंगे, even वाले जीरो आने शुरू हो जाएंगे, because इसका integral हो जाएगा 2c by pi cos minus cos nx by n 0 to pi. So cos जो है odd multiples of pi पे -1 होगा और even multiples of pi पे +1. So even वाले जीरो हो जाएंगे, odd वाले रिटेन रहेंगे. Yes, any other doubt? Fine. So I'm just going to end this one. In next week, whenever classes will resume, so we'll start with the next chapter. Thank you.